Today we're going to be talking about the missing persons case on Cecilia Huerta Gallegos. Cecilia Huerta Gallegos is a 30-year-old female. She's about 5'1", 120 pounds. She's a mother of four and a nursing assistant. She was also married to a man named Reyes Huerta Gallegos. She was last seen July 7th on her home surveillance entering her bedroom. Okay, so Cecilia Huerta Gallegos is the fifth of 7 siblings. She is the child of parents who immigrated from the Dominican Republic to Houston. She had her first 2 children with a man named George in Houston. She lived with those children at her grandmother's house before taking them with her to San Antonio in 2012. She decided to leave to start a new life, her sister Maria Lopez said. In San Antonio, she started working as a cashier at a gas station. While working there, she met Reyes Huerta Gallegos, and they soon were married. They had 2 children who are now around 6 and 7. Maria Lopez said her sister stopped working after she got married and was a homemaker before she began studying to get into the healthcare field. Friends said Cecilia had a curfew and that her husband checked on her regularly at work and at school when she was taking healthcare classes. A little background on her husband, Reyes Huerta Gallegos. He had a minor criminal record, primarily a charge for graffiti and evading detention. When he was 18, he was granted and completed probation. Friends said he doesn't have a job. Photos posted on her Facebook page dated from March 27th through July 28th show Reyes Huerta Gallegos in a security guard uniform for a company that no longer is in operation. She became a certified nursing assistant in December of 2016, and she started working at St. Francis Nursing Home in July of 2017. On the last day that her coworkers saw her, which was on July 7th, her shift was scheduled to end at 11 p.m., but her husband arrived around 6:40 p.m., her coworker said. He said he saw the facility's security video that shows the couple's encounter. You can tell that she's uncomfortable. He came very close and she took a few steps back up into the wall. After Cecilia and her husband talked, he left and she went to the head nurse explaining that she had to leave to check on her children. She left around 7:20 p.m. and no one at the nursing home has heard from her since. Her younger brother named Justin talked with her on the phone that day. Her sister Maria said Cecilia told Justin that she feared something was going to happen and that she needed to get home and watch her kids. The cameras had interior and exterior views of the house. So what is shown is she is seen getting home at 7:39 p.m. She enters her bedroom at 7:53 p.m. and the cameras are turned off at 2:08 a.m. They're turned back on at 3:44 a.m. and he is seen from the home cameras leaving his home for 2 minutes. Then he leaves again for another 2 minutes, then another 11 minutes, and finally he leaves for 2 hours. Upon his return, he is seen unloading a shovel, chainsaw, cleaning supplies, and trash bags from his vehicle. The next day, he called police alleging that his wife had attacked him. He told officers. She then said she was leaving the family and took off with the unnamed man who was waiting in a car outside. Her 6 siblings, who all live in Houston, became very concerned when none of them had heard from her for several days after that last phone call with her brother. He asked San Antonio Police Department for a welfare check, and when she couldn't be found, her family filed a missing persons report on July 11th. Her siblings were stunned when police told them that Cecilia's husband, 34-year-old Reyes Huerta Gallegos, had called 911 the morning of July 8th to report his wife had assaulted him in their home and ran away. Her sister Margie Lopez and their other siblings don't believe it.
So she was very involved with her kids. So for her to be missing or not saying anything to anybody about where she went is unusual.
Cecilia Huerta has been missing since last Sunday. She works at St. Francis Nursing Home, and according to her friends and family, her top priority has always been her 4 children.
My sister wouldn't just get up one day and just decide to leave her kids. No, she wouldn't just sleep like that.
Huerta mysteriously disappeared from her home on Southwick Street, leaving behind her valuables, including her phone, credit cards, her car, and her children.
Her kids are now living with Margie Lopez. The Children Protective Services took the couple's children from Reyes Huerta Gallegos and put them in Margie Lopez's care the week after their mother was reported missing. Margie Lopez said police have told her video taken the night of July 7th by a security camera Reyes had installed at their house showed Cecilia going in but not coming out. She disappeared, said Maria Lopez, leaving without her cell phone, clothes, and other personal belongings or a vehicle. Cecilia's sisters and friends say she had made references in the past to disappearing and quote unquote bad things possibly happening. Huerta Gallegos' friend Monique Medina said Huerta Gallegos told her that if she ever went missing, to make sure they look for her. Her sister Margie recalled her saying, "If anything goes down, call the police." Margie Lopez said Reyes had called her to check on the children and that he tried to regain custody, but at the hearing, the judge said the children should remain with Lopez. On July 15th, SAPD got a search warrant for the Gallegos' home to review the video surveillance system. According to the affidavit, his wife is never seen on any video during the time of the alleged cutting. More importantly, officers said the woman is never seen leaving the residence. SAPD did see the victim arriving home from work on Sunday, July 7th, just after 7:30. Investigators said less than 15 minutes later she entered the bedroom she shared with Reyes. Police said it's the last time the video captured her image.
And video shows her husband was trying to keep her children away from her room. Cecilia's sister says the children heard yelling.
She told me that night she just heard her screaming and that she covered her ears up because he had put her in her room.
On July 8th, SAPD said the surveillance cameras were shut off at 2:08 a.m. Police said they remained that way for nearly 2 hours. The cameras, per the arrest document, came back up at 3:44 a.m. SAPD said he left at 6:27 a.m. and did not return until 8:48 a.m. According to police, Gallegos came back to the house unloading a chainsaw, shovel, trash bags, and cleaning supplies. Investigators said his shirt appeared wet with sweat. Reyes Gallegos was arrested on Wednesday, August 28th, and charged with making a false police report to an officer in connection with the disappearance of his wife, which is a Class B misdemeanor. His arrest affidavit said he had visible injuries to his face, a large scratch mark on his chest consistent with fingernails, and a superficial cut on his index finger. According to police, the suspect said his wife cut him on the finger with the knife, dropped it, and left the house on foot. His bail was set at $3,500 and he was released the next day. He was arrested again after his bail increased from $3,500 to $75,000, according to records from the Bexar County Clerk's Office. Cecilia's sister Margie and Maria Lopez put out a statement towards their sister saying, "I will always love you. My only regret is that if I had known that the last time I saw you would be the last time I saw you, I would have hugged you a little tighter, told you I loved you a little louder, and stayed by your side a little longer. My mind knows that you are gone, but my heart will never accept it. I miss you so much." The search continues in the missing case of Cecilia Gallegos. Search parties have gone out to comb through the area around her home in the 5600 block of Southwick, which now appears empty. Chain Breakers Search and Rescue Group, family, friends, and concerned residents who didn't know Cecilia but want to help have searched overgrown culverts, ditches, empty fields, and parks near her home. Cecilia's sister describes her as a strong woman who would never run away from her problems, but instead would face them with a smile. She was a really happy person. All she would do is joke around. She would be friendly with everybody. They have fond memories of their little sister when they were growing up in Houston. If you have any information on the missing persons case of Cecilia Huerta Gallegos, please call SAPD at 210-207-7660. And before I close out this video, I do want to remind you all that there is a domestic violence hotline you can call if you or a loved one need any help or resources, which will be linked in the description box. The SAPD hotline will also be linked in the description box. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.